There's been a reason why Volume 2 has been a long time in the making. As most of you know, in August 2010, I had a heart attack. And thankfully, I had no long term damage, but I had to be on medication to manage the clogged arteries that I have. One of those drugs was called metoprolol. The drug causes intense and incessant fatigue. I'm quite passionate about my films, and last summer I was willing to sell my house to move into an apartment to free up the time and energy required to continue in my film series. Just before I was ready to sell my house, God said, "Why don't you pray about this important decision?" So I did. I said, "Lord, if it's your will, why don't you have my doctor bring up the fact that metoprolol for me would be discontinued without me prompting my doctor to say so?" The next time I saw my doctor, the first words out of his mouth were, "Leonard, the latest studies suggest that long-term metoprolol use is of no benefit, so we're going to take you off that drug." Obviously, that was an answer to prayer. Obviously, God was saying, you don't have to sell your house to continue on in the movie series. So, thankfully, I'm still here in my backyard. Thankfully, I have enough energy now to continue on in the film series. Now, please be aware that it took me months to wind down while I was on this drug, and it's going to take me months to wind back up. I'm still on the process of getting my normal life back. So, Volume 2 is a go. God was saying wait to me for 3 years. Most people, myself included, don't like to hear the answer of wait, but that is what God's answer was. I'm very excited to announce to you that Volume 2 is going to be taken to a whole other quality level. In other words, it's going to be cinematic quality, the same quality that you're viewing me in right now. That's not just because of my equipment, that's also because I've surrounded myself with a whole bunch of talented people. One of those talented people is James Rosal, who has been hired to create the disc covers as well as the movie posters. Secondly, Samuel Peter Swanson, also known as Sam Swanson, has been hired to create an original score for Volume 2. I'm very, very pleased to tell you that Sam has created 15 tracks for the film that are absolutely stellar. You can listen to the soundtrack in high quality at godspropertymedia.bandcamp.com. Lastly, and definitely not in the least, Preston Zeller of zellerhouse.com has been hired to create an awesome website. The name of that website is nwotruth.org. nwotruth.org. Check it out. It's highly creative. It's heavily detailed. Volume 1 cost me $5,000, which is dirt cheap. I had only a pocket camera, which was used to take all the pictures and video for that film. Volume 2, however, like I said before, is going to be a whole different story. It's going to be shot in cinematic 4K quality. The camera which I have bought, along with the recorder and the rig and the lenses, has cost me over $20,000 so far. Plus, hiring all these people has cost me an additional sum of money. About $25,000 has been spent on the film so far. And if you've ever watched a Hollywood production, you will realize that that is chump change. The other thing is that I have vowed that every film I have ever made, am making now, and will release in the future will be released for free. Any filmmaker will tell you that he or she wants to make a film to be released to the masses, and the best way to do that is to release the film for free on YouTube. Now, you can support this film by going to my website and clicking on the About page, and especially the PayPal link. That is the fastest and easiest and most direct way of donating to the film. Thank you for all the donations that have come my way so far. A special thank you to a very generous donor in Dubai. You know who you are. Your team is behind you. Thank you also for an additional donor that has come from Dubai. I'm getting donations from around the world, and that's fabulous. Physical discs of Volume 2 will be made available at godspropertymedia.com. Now, this is important because legislation has already been passed to censor the internet. Some of you may be asking, when is Volume 2 going to come out? And the answer is, I don't know. And there's an important reason for that. The reason is this. Every 7 years, the entire world, and especially America, goes through an economic reset, a crash, if you will. Consider the historic record. 1980, 1987, 1994, 2001, 2008, and September 2015. In other words, the historical record is telling us that a crash of some kind will most likely happen this September. So if it does, I have to leave the door open to cover that important event. So to sum up, I thank you so much for your support over the years. I never thought my film would receive 5 million views. I never thought it would get a 92% thumbs up rating. I never thought I would win the Best Documentary Award at the Winnipeg 2012 Reel to Reel Film Festival, beating out 11 other documentaries. Never thought that would happen. I'm thankful for the underground support from my church. I thank you for the donations that have already come in. About 1/3 of the film's costs have already come in, and hopefully with your support, I can break even on this project. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. God bless.